Hey everyone, welcome back. You're probably wondering why I'm hanging out in my freezer. Yes, I have a nice warm scarf on. It's 19 degrees. It's chilly in New Jersey and it's chilly in the freezer, but I want to have a moment and chat about your stockpile in your freezer. Is it important to have a stockpile in your freezer? Should you have a stockpile in your freezer? And should you check up on your freezer now and again and clean it out? That's what we're going to discuss tonight. Okay, so yes, and yes to all three. You should have a stockpile in your freezer. Is it important to have it? Yes. Should you clean it out? Yes. Do I like it? No. I do not like cleaning out my freezer and my refrigerator. They drive me crazy. I like things very neat and orderly. If there's one thing that drives me crazy is things that are not meticulously lined up. Believe it or not, as much as I have things around my home, I like things very much in order. Things have to be turned a certain way and tilted this way and so on. Right now, this freezer, let's see if you can see it a little bit better here. Let's see, there we go. This freezer to me is organized in terms of it's been cleaned out, but it's not organized lined up. So I had bins like this, and I had big Rubbermaid bins, and I had them in here, and I had meats and vegetables and so on. Well, let me just say, it hasn't worked out very well for me. So I found that the bins held things neatly, but it didn't give me as much room as I needed, and that was a problem because if you get good buys or somebody gives you some food like we do, I couldn't fit everything. Okay, so what have I done in my freezer is I pretty much took everything out, and I took alcohol wipes and wiped out the entire freezer, made sure it was clean, it's germ free, and just get all the debris out and all the bits and pieces and crumbs that when you take certain things out and so on and so forth. Then I went through what was in here, and I put over here, you can see in this section, this is all my meat. So I have chopped meat, and I have fish, and I have more fish, and I have chicken, and I have sausage rolls back here. So I put as best as I could and as neatly as I could, I put the meat. Now, as you know, things don't fit perfectly because they're all different odd shapes. So I'm having to control my OCD and know that I cannot fit things perfectly neat in here. So right here I have vegetables in here. Underneath I have 2 things of cookie dough, and I purposely put them here because I had them in one of these containers and I forgot I had them. So I said, you know what, enough is enough. Take them out so they're visually there and just put vegetables in here. Then I have some ice cream and Parmesan cheese here. I had 2 loaves of bread that I needed to fit in the freezer. I was able to, once I cleaned this out, make room for that. I have moved this out of the way. I made some homemade soup here for a friend that is out of town right now, and when they return, I'll be making homemade bread to go along with that homemade soup. And then back here, we have some freezer rolls, and I have some pierogies, and I have some unsalted butter for baking, and hot dogs, and I have a breakfast sandwich. And then down here, you can see all this. I have lots of soups. This is some homemade dog food. We have our dog's name on it. I had made some taco pie. That's left over. I used the masking tape. My husband wrote on that. We have lots of soups. I have extra vegetables that we had made. Some corn at one point I can use with another recipe. So that's all in here. And then in here we have leftovers from a meal that we had made, and we had just enough for one, so I packaged that up for someone who needs a lunch or a dinner on the run one day. And breakfast items here. Look at this. See this large container? My husband wrote on there, this is bacon grease. Yep, good old-fashioned bacon grease. You save your bacon grease, you make potato salad, or you frying anything up and you want a little extra flavor, keep it in the freezer. You can scoop it out. Free, flavorful grease, bacon grease. So another breakfast sandwich here. I have another loaf of bread here. I was able to fit. I had made some apple butter when we went apple picking in the fall. So I made apple butter and I froze it. I don't know, more soup, homemade soups and things like that are in here. And in here I have zucchini that I shredded for zucchini bread. I made some homemade applesauce. That's in here. I put them in Ziploc bags. Let's see if well, if I pull it out, it's going to go. But I lay them flat in the freezer like a pancake, and then you can stack them once they're frozen like a filing cabinet. And so that's in there. Get the bread back in there so you can see everything is somewhat orderly. It's not perfect, but here's the thing. Number one is you do need to keep your freezer clean and tidy. It's not going to be on the regular, whatever works for you. Once a week, once a month, once every 3 months. You might not be in your freezer that often. So for you to clean it out once a week is ridiculous because you don't go in it that often. So then don't do it. Do it once every 3 months if you have to. But make a point of writing it down to wipe it out. And then go through it, because sometimes you go through it and you go, we had one container, for the life of us, we could not figure out what it was. We were both like, what is this? Is it gravy? We weren't sure. When you're not sure of something, just get rid of it. It's not worth it. So we got rid of that. And I think there were 1 or 2 other things that look kind of eh. So I reorganized, put things away, and then made a list of what's in my freezer so I can go, oh, like, here's an example. Reorganized it. I have a brand new package of kielbasa, and then I had 2 other packages that were open, and I went, oh, I didn't realize I had that much. Note to self, meals that I can make with that. Then I found a whole package of cheese sticks, and if you remember my Instacart order I did, I don't remember, a couple weeks ago, I think, I ordered cheese sticks, and then I went to ShopRite, and I bought more cheese sticks. Now, that's not to say I won't use these, but how many times would I have ordered cheese sticks when they're sitting in the freezer before I realize it? So by cleaning out my freezer, I was able to say, wait a minute, I have cheese sticks. I put them right up front, so every time I go in, I go, oh yeah, cheese sticks, don't forget. Even if I pull out half the bag and leave the other bag in here, I can do that as well. So keep a good stockpile as best as you can in your freezer. I needed to make room for bread. If you need to make room for flour or pancake mixes or anything else that you might want to get and store long term, make yourself some room. Now, I have a family of 3, but I also feed and make meals for my mom once in a while. We do have company on the regular, or we make food for other people. So I have a decently stocked freezer, but I have a lot of, like a meal here. I've got meals here. I've got all kinds of soup behind here. So pretty much what's down here, for the most part, are meals that are pre-made. This is my vegetables, this is my meats, and this is the oddball things. So this has been beneficial. Going through this, I found I had butter over here. I put the butter on the door. I found that I had ice packs over here. The ice packs belong on the door. Things like that. Keep your freezer neat and clean, as tidy as possible, and make a point of going through it and saying, doing it like you would your stockpile. What do I need to buy? What is in here? What do I need to use up? What is about to expire? You cannot keep things in your freezer as much as it prolongs the life and, you know, it's rock hard, solid, and all of that. It still will expire, or it won't be as flavorful, or it'll be frostbitten. So you want to be extremely careful and keep up with your freezer. Now, your refrigerator, oh my word. My refrigerator is one of those things I hate doing. It drives me crazy to throw food out because, you know, you had leftovers you forgot to use and time went by and so on and so forth. As well as refrigerators, like I like a super clean refrigerator, sanitized. And it drives me crazy when you wipe it and it just doesn't. So my husband today was a gem. He pulled everything out, all the drawers, all the shelves, took our steamer and steam cleaned our refrigerator. I mean, like, cleaned it. And we made sure what was in there was current. There was nothing you know, kind of squirrely. What's that? Or why does that have hair on it? And it's not supposed to. That kind of stuff that you might find. We did pretty good. We were okay. But let me take a break and let you see what our refrigerator looks like. And so I can, now it's not organized. It was just a matter of we cleaned it. We had to take our son to youth group, so we put everything back in it. So it's not neat and tidy. So no comments from the peanut gallery over here saying your refrigerator is not organized. This is called reality. This is the Wilson home. We're always on the go, and things are not always orderly and perfect. This is, you know, this is our reality. This is not a show. This is my home. So I'm going to show you my refrigerator and how clean and neat it looks. And yeah, so take stock of your freezer's stockpile. Make sure it's clean, it's neat, and it's tidy. It's well kept up, and make sure you look at expiration dates or when you know, how old is this? Oh, that's been in there 5 years. Maybe, you know, you should have used it before 5 years. So, you know, and just realize I have breakfast sandwiches. They don't last very long. They get freezer burn. So note to self, how long have they been in there? Maybe grab those for work next week, or tell my husband we need to use those up and get them up on the whiteboard as a reminder. Okay, let me show you my refrigerator. Okay, you are now entering my refrigerator. So it is nothing spectacular. Bring it up a little bit here. Like I said, it is not neat and tidy. We had to run out to youth group, so we just threw everything in there. But he took these out, steam cleaned the entire back, all the shelves. We have a container that we keep all the leftover mayonnaise, mustards, Chinese stuff in packets, and I've labeled them. So if we go on a road trip, we've got little packets to take with us. I have extra butter. I made a meatloaf the other day from that chopped meat that we got, the meatloaf mix, so that's in here. Anybody that wants it. Some more prepackaged meals. Believe it or not, that's dog food in here. And let's see what else we got. We've got some stuff down here. I made, let's see if I can show you there a little bit. So this is beef stroganoff with noodles and roasted broccoli. So, and in the beef stroganoff, I also have corn and carrots mixed in there. So this is a pre-made meal that we can just warm up. We've got some milk. We've got our drawers full of yogurts and other goodies in here. Onions and whatnot down here. All this was cleaned up and scrubbed. And this is what we use. This is not a sponsored ad, but if you're looking to see, this is the Steam Shop by Bissell. We can use this on our sinks, on our toilets, in the refrigerator, the garbage can, anything that needs to be sterilized with hot, boiling water. You can sanitize it. Comes out here, and it's got a couple of different attachments, but you can just clean, and then wipe it down with some alcohol wipes when you're done, or a paper towel. So thanks so much for coming over. Hope you enjoyed talking about your freezer stockpile. And you got to see my nice clean refrigerator. Now I just need to reorganize it and tidy it up. Maybe check something like this out if you need to do some extra cleaning. And we'll catch you all on the next video.